And good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 3, episode Olimata, episode Douglas Crankshaft Murray, or for you older listeners, episode Ron Stackhouse. You might even say it is episode 3 PT of Point Park Pens Talk. I am here with Nick Berlansky and Jordan Slobodinsky. Nick, how are you doing?
Well, you texted me earlier today and said you had an intro ready, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I was not expecting something that great. Thank you for that.
No problem. I'll keep it coming.
That was very good. How are you doing today, Jordan?
I just had an aneurysm from that opening.
That was a great opening. I was not expecting the Stackhouse.
I had to throw it back, man.
You had to throw it back.
Yep.
Well, how are you doing? Nobody asked you. Oh, wait, nobody cares. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay. I am doing great.
Anyway.
Thanks, guys.
Well, let's begin with This Week in Penguins Hockey. Stop laughing. We're going along with this. It started with the Ottawa Senators game. I think the funniest thing that I've seen in a while by AT&T Sportsnet was the injury update with Danny Potash.
That was awesome.
His day-to-day with illness.
That was awesome. I was in the middle of playing Fortnite whenever I looked down and saw that my stream had that on it, and I was loving it. I was enjoying that a lot.
It was good. They do a lot of good things, the Pittsburgh Penguins, when it comes to stuff off the ice.
If you pay attention, they really do.
Yeah, and we do have a question coming up in a couple weeks that involves Dan Potash. You guys don't even know about that yet. I have that queued up. It'll be interesting. So stay tuned in the following weeks to find out what we're talking about Potash. I have here, it was evened out through the first and second period, but I'm realizing now that it was a Senators game.
Okay.
Which means it was the trap. And that's why I was bored.
Yeah, but it always seems like we really are. We own the Senators sometimes, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, there's, they play the trap, but the second we break through, it's for 7 goals, or however many we scored that game. 6.
Especially whenever they started their backup, Mike Condon.
Yeah.
Former Penguin Mike Condon.
Yeah, there's we do have another former Penguin goalie that we're going to talk about. And I know Horwat knows. But we also have Hagelin and Malkin. Their chemistry is ridiculous. That goal where Hagelin spun around and backhanded it, and then Malkin spun around and backhanded it into the back of the net, that's a cheat code.
With Condon on the other side of the ice. Was it still Condon?
It was still Condon.
Yeah, Condon on the other side of the ice for that.
Yeah, his jock was left just in the blue paint. Anderson had to pick it up and throw it into the stands because he didn't want it there. It was bad. They embarrassed him. Matt Murray, speaking of goaltenders, not embarrassing at all. He's on a roll. He played great that game.
Let's see.
He played great, but the funniest thing for me of this entire week, which has been a great week, the Penguins were 4-0. Dion Phaneuf started that game, a Senator, and they literally told him, get off the ice, we traded you.
But you're staying in the city.
But you're staying in the city for the next 3 days.
Yes.
Because you got traded to the Kings, who will also play in Pittsburgh.
And that was earlier also that, if you're going to talk about AT&T Sports doing their off-ice thing, that they showed that picture of Phil and Dion at dinner.
Phil and Dion, they did show that, and then Dion scored a goal.
Yeah, well,
Well, while we're talking about it, we move on to the Kings game. Penguins beat the Kings 3-1. It's always a low-scoring game with those teams. Jonathan Quick,
unreal.
We talk about Penguins team. A good Penguins team, we usually just talk about the Penguins. And if they embarrass somebody, we talk about them. But Jonathan Quick was out of his mind amazing in that game. The Penguins should have scored 8 goals.
Yeah. Jonathan Quick is like that often.
Yeah, but he's all over the place, though.
Yeah.
He's worse than Fleury. Not that Fleury was bad. He's worse than Fleury was in positioning.
100%.
Because he's diving all the time.
But hey, he makes the saves.
But he makes the saves, and that's what Fleury
two-time
does
Stanley
too.
Cup champion Jonathan Quick.
Yeah.
Also, it was 90s night, and I wanted to go to that so bad.
Yeah, we tried to go to a couple games this week.
Yeah.
Student Rush was not having it with us.
Standing room only.
I'm not going to stand to watch that game when I can sit in my living room.
Yeah.
Nah, you should have gone. You could have seen Ryan Reeves score a goal.
With Willie O'Ree in attendance.
Was that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that game.
Yeah.
Ryan Reeves scored a goal, but Ryan Reeves also in the first period, in case you missed it, had a breakaway on Jonathan Quick.
I did miss that.
That was a steal.
He had a breakaway. We had a 2-on-0 with a couple people. Sid had one opportunity right in front of the net as well. The first period, Jonathan Quick stopped I think it was 4 or 5 uneven chances. That was crazy. He was all over the place. And then, of course, we move on to the Maple Leafs game. Horwat, you actually came down and watched that game with me. That's the first
Me-
time you've watched a game with me in a
Me
while.
and James had nothing else to do, man.
You and James had nothing else to do, so
And
I'm
Jordan
the
was
last
at work.
resort. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm behind Jordan in last resort when it comes to
we
Penguin
ca- I,
stuff.
we call Jordan every weekend. We text you every weekend too, though, to come up.
Yakshi.
Yeah, but I work and
No, you guys both work. It's okay.
yeah.
Also, one more thing about the LA Kings game. Brian Rust missed another empty net goal.
He did.
It was stopped by Drew Doughty, but it would have gone wide.
Oh, and Drew Doughty was so mad when Malkin. Two things about that empty net goal. Doughty smashed his stick into
Oh, that
oblivion,
was-
Yep.
and Malkin looked at the puck like scoring an empty net goal and insulted him. Like, I don't even want that goal. What are you talking about? He looked down at it like, can we please just like incinerate that puck now because I don't want this goal.
Yeah.
He's like, I am score, but on goalie. He scored on. That's basically like scoring on Antiniemi. You don't keep the puck. I think you have to throw the puck in the garbage.
Who?
Antiniemi,
Antiniemi.
Who?
somebody
Boy.
who we're also going to talk about later.
Yes.
Isn't he like a? Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
There was something, yeah,
okay.
Fun facts.
good Antiniemi, not Penguins
Yeah,
Antiniemi.
Good. What's that?
Cup champion Antiniemi.
Okay,
Oh, that's
that-
Blackhawk
I remember that guy.
Antiniemi.
Also, back to the Toronto game. Malkin had his 900th point.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. That was
No one knew about it.
Nobody was. There was no build up to that. There was no. Oh, Malkin's at 898 because
yeah.
that was his second point of the night. Was that goal, which was ridiculous because it was them hitting the puck out of the air
Rust
again.
out of the air.
Yeah, Hagelin to Rust, Malkin, and that line is
That line
crazy
is tearing
right
it
now.
up.
That line's tearing it up, and then Sheehan, Kessel, and Gensel.
That's something else.
If you look at it, the Crosby line barely scored this week.
Aston-Reese.
Except for
scored.
Oh wait, never
Reese.
mind. Aston-Reese
Except for
had
Zach
4 goals.
Aston-Reese.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
He had the what? Was it 4 goals this week or
He
3?
had 4.
And-
He would have had 5, but they took the one away from him and gave it to Letang.
But you know what? 4 goals for
But he got
his first 4 of his career
4 goals in his career.
in his first week.
Yeah. And now let's talk about it. Matt Murray played in his 100th game against the Maple Leafs, won his 100th game, making it 62 wins in his first 100 career regular season games. This is not counting the playoffs, which, 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
But
As a
who's
roo-
counting? Who's
as a
counting?
rookie. But did you guys know that with that win, he passed Antiniemi for the most wins of a goalie in his first 100 games since the 2005-2006 season?
Interesting.
great.
How do you feel about that, Jordan?
The great Antiniemi.
Well, certainly proves who should have been the starter all along.
There was never a question. What? Wait.
Teddy Bluger in net.
Matt Hunwick in net.
Matt Hunwick in Ottawa. I don't care. Send him
Any-
somewhere else.
Anywhere else?
Jordan, just a quick thing. There was never a question whenever we got
Oh, no,
who
no,
the
no.
starter was going to be.
No, he could compete for it, but he was never going to get it.
What?
What?
Well, moving on. We're just going to do that a lot.
One more thing
Today?
about the Toronto game.
Yeah.
When Hagelin scored, when you got up and ran,
Yeah.
that was a great moment for me. I
You
enjoyed
guys have
that.
known since the first week I'm a Hagelin fan, and Horwat has been getting Snapchats every time a Hagelin scored, which has been pretty
Or Riley.
frequent. Or Riley Sheehan.
Yeah.
Last week was pretty often.
It was pretty often
Yeah.
lately, but he was in attendance for a Carl Hagelin goal, and I shot up out of my seat, ran into my bedroom where my roommate was laying down
watching a
watching a movie, and I stole like 5 of his gummy bears. And that's it. I was like, I need a gummy bear. Bye. No reason whatsoever. I just needed to let out energy because Carl Hagelin scored a goal.
James had no idea what was going on.
James was very
He
confused.
scored 2 goals last week, didn't he?
He did.
I was going to say
He
because
scored a couple.
Actually, he scored both times I was at work, and I texted you both times.
You did.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Carl.
Moving on to the
Carl
Columbus
Cat-
game.
Columbus game, which I really didn't watch much of because I was trying to attempt to learn how to make a grilled cheese.
What?
Yeah, never made a grilled cheese. So I was making grilled cheese for the first time.
It's butter and bread and cheese.
Well,
It's
it's not, I
interesting.
didn't do it wrong. I'm just saying I've never done it.
Was it the same day I burnt mine?
It was the same day you burnt yours because
Yeah.
I said,
Burnt one side of mine, yeah.
yeah.
Jordan didn't see that Snapchat.
It was my first time, and I didn't even do that.
All right, look.
I stopped paying attention because I was making my tomato
Jordan,
soup.
do you
okay?
do you feel
Look.
weird being the smartest one in the room right now?
It's not a very often thing for me. First step, bread. Second step, get out Kayla's butter. Third step, make the grilled cheese.
Okay. Anyway,
Well,
Riley.
the Columbus game, yeah, Riley Sheehan.
I also just want to.
2
I have
goals.
Cheyenne in like how it's supposed to be pronounced, so I don't mess it up this week.
Yeah, you kept saying like Sheehan or something like that on
I have
Saturday.
a friend whose last name is Sheehan or something like that.
Sheehan. Well, it's Sheehan, so
Sheehan.
get it right
Yes.
if you're going to be a fan of this
But
team.
your boy scored 2.
My boy scored 2 yesterday. And then the rest of the team decided to score too, like Brian Dumoulin. Like,
Think about
what
it.
was that?
Wait,
He had-
Brian Dumoulin scored. Mata scored the game winner against Toronto. So, excuse me.
He did, yeah.
So getting some defensive scoring, because also obviously Letang had the goal that was taken away from Aston-Reese, so the defense is starting to score too. Which when our forwards are scoring that much, and then the defense starts to score.
When your defensive defenseman scores a goal,
Yeah, Dumo had like what?
Think about-
4 goals in his first 5 years, and he has like 2.
he has 4 now, I think. I think this season.
Know.
Dumo does have 4 this season, I see right here.
Yeah.
But think about this. In the same week that Ryan Reeves scored 2 goals, Ashton Reese scored 4.
Remember what I told you at the beginning of the year?
You said 4 goals.
I said Ryan Reeves, cuatro.
And
I
that's
am
it.
correct.
Ooh.
Please do not score again. I'm just kidding. If he
His-
scores,
if
I'll be
If you
happy.
score more, it's okay.
His shots are so rough. They like do not look pretty at all.
The one against the Kings looked gorgeous.
Even so, I
That
saw
saucer's like a UFO
Oh my god.
heading straight to Scott Keppel's eyeballs.
Jordan, and we've lost Jordan.
Well, another note, last note on the Columbus game. Justin Schultz missed his second game due to illness. That's why Matt Hunwick was
Yes.
playing.
Also, Jordan, I have a question for you. Tristan Jarry was in net and not Casey DeSmith.
Yeah.
Who do you legitimately think is better? Casey DeSmith or Tristan Jarry?
Ooh.
I think
This isn't questions with Jordan yet.
No, but this is like an important question I want to
so
know.
like, I mean, it was very obvious from the beginning of when Casey DeSmith came up after Murray's dad died, and Yari played a few games, and then they started DeSmith, and DeSmith obviously played well, but then when Matt came back, they sent Yari to the minors to keep him playing because he could play more in Wilkes-Barre, because it's like blatantly obvious from the front office that they want Yari to be the backup.
Oh yeah.
It was just fine. Yari's great. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm looking. What is it right here? He's got 10. He's 10-4 this season.
Wow.
He's 10-4. Like, there's no denying that. Like,
So is he better than Casey
His
DeSmith?
goals allowed average is also 241, and
Yeah.
his save percentage is 921, and he has 2 shutouts.
Mhm.
So
is he
that's a
better than Casey
ridiculous
DeSmith?
line
Yeah,
for a backup.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, he's probably he's one of the better backups. He's only like a year. I think he might actually. Is he younger than Murray?
He's younger than
by
Murray.
like a year, right?
Yeah. So when you said you were like, yeah, he's good backup. It's like when a nerdy guy asks like a hot girl out, and they're like, oh, you want to go out with me? It's like, no. I mean, you're great and everything, but no.
Like I just
That's
think
exactly what you sounded like.
I just think that the Smith plays a more balanced game. I don't think
balanced game. He's a goaltender.
Just
nobody
Jordan,
understands
I
me.
asked you a simple
No,
question.
nobody
You took it
understands
to
you
so many
because-
different places.
yeah, okay.
I think the Smith plays better than Yari, but Yari has the most room to improve, and I think actually Yari's more talented though.
Okay,
So-
thank you. That answers my question.
Well, let's get into something serious now, and it's a very fun thing to do. It's Slobodinsky storylines.
People
Jordan,
love
take it away.
All right, so this week we've got Patrick Hornquist. He was skating for the first time since he was injured against Washington 2 weeks ago. If I'm correct, he was just skating in practice. He wasn't participating that much.
He was not correct.
Jake Gensel and your computer died. Jake Gensel's computer died.
didn't
And in other
die.
news,
It's at 95%. I'm pretty
It
sure.
didn't die. It just
59.
its screensaver came on.
I'm just kidding.
Just continue reading.
Both Jake Gensel and Matt Murray played in their 100th game this week. Gensel got a goal last week. Murray had a shutout last week.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
What game did he have a shutout?
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. In
Hold on a
what
second.
game did we
Are
shut
you-
anybody
Jordan,
out?
We
Hold on a second.
literally hand you a script. Are you not reading from it?
I swear to God.
I write these down word for
I'm,
word.
I'm sorry. I thought the Kings game was a shutout.
No,
My
we
bad.
we already said in this show that
I'm
Dion
sorry.
Phaneuf scored a goal.
That's right. I forgot. I forget who Heon Daneuf is. Okay.
He's the pylon.
Yeah, that guy.
He's a $6 million pylon.
Zach Aston-Reese had his first 4 goals in the NHL last week in 4 games, so pretty good. He actually had one taken away for Chris Letang. Murray is 8-0-1 in his last 9 decisions since coming back. The Penguins have 11-game home win streak, and I think it's a 7-game win streak all in all right now.
It's 5.
5.
Is it 5? I'm
Yes.
really
Why
bad.
we give you a script.
Hold on. No, it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Jordan,
We
the
lost
Dallas
against
game was a
Dallas.
shootout loss.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I don't count that.
Well, you can't. Okay.
Anyway,
You know what? Just because that made me mad, I think we should go to break.
Hold on. Do we want to do these questions first?
Yeah, let's do the questions. Let's do the questions.
Oh, yeah, let's do questions with Jordan.
Okay.
3PT HQ, as it was officially declared last week.
Bye.
You said it, and I said that's a good idea.
Okay, I guess.
Whenever I re-listened to our episode at 1 a.m.
You re-listened to it 20 seconds after I posted it. And I'm sorry I posted it so late that the computer labs here at Point Park were not helping me out last week.
I was awake at 1 a.m. and I was going for it.
Well, 3PTHQ with Jordan Slobodinsky.
Here, question number 1.
All right, let's go.
The easy one. What year were the Pittsburgh Penguins founded?
1968? 67.
There you go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
wow, look at that.
I just did that in my head. I was like, wait, 50 years was last year. 67.
Good. Well, that's exactly why I asked that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The medium question. Who is the only Penguins head coach to ever receive the Jack Adams Award for Coach of the Year?
Mike Sullivan.
False. That is not it. Yes, it was Dan
It
Bilesma.
was Danny Bilesma.
Okay.
I didn't know he was the only one, actually. Funny.
Yeah, Badger Bob didn't win
Well,
it.
Badger coached for a year, and I didn't think who coached the year after Badger. I can't remember.
Oh, he's the Blackhawks GM, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm blanking.
I can't remember his name now.
But,
Anyway, funny story. I was actually looking up Dan Bilesman this week because I was like, what's he doing? Like, I knew
he's an analyst for NHL
Yeah,
Network.
yeah. Like, I knew he got fired from Buffalo, but I was like, what's he doing though? And yeah, he's on the NHL Network, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Hard
Yeah.
question.
And now the hard question. Who is the only Penguin to ever grace the cover of a video game?
I feel like this is obvious, but it's probably not.
3, 2.
Sid.
No. Crosby's never done it. It was Mario Lemieux on the cover of EA NHL 2001.
That was my next. There was like 3 names in my head.
Well, 2 for 3 ain't bad.
It was like Sid.
Next week, you're not going to be here, so we're going to have next week, instead of 3PTHQ with Jordan Slobodinsky, we're going to have it with one of my roommates. It's Kayla Belovich, so we're going to see how she does. And
Live
stacks
audience
up
as well.
Yeah, she's also the live audience today.
Woo!
And
Do you have a question for our listeners?
for
to
our
respond
lovely
to?
audience out there,
What
you
we're going
guys
to do
can
is
now
we're
get
going to ask you the question. If you have one of our phone numbers, go ahead and text us.
Text us, Snapchat
If you
us,
don't
whatever you
have
wanna
our
do.
phone numbers, just tweet your response to @SteelCitySpiel, Steel City SPIEL on Twitter, and we'll see how many of you guys get it right. So,
Right.
Horwat, take it away.
And you have the break to come up with an answer.
Yeah, we're
It
going to
is.
break right after this.
What current Penguin was picked last overall in the 2005 entry draft? It's the same draft that Sidney Crosby was taken number 1 overall. So, get to it.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi, this is Mayor Bill Peduto, and you're listening to WPPJ 670 AM.
Hi, I'm Becca Riggin.
And I'm Lauren Klauser.
If you're looking for quality recommendations for all things books, music, and movies,
And you want to hear the latest pop and tunes,
then tune into our radio show.
thanks, pal. Every Saturday night from 7 to 8. You can listen by downloading the TuneIn app.
Or on WPPJ 670 AM or at WPPJradio.com.
Thanks, pal.
Come on down to the Pioneer Sideline, the longest running show on UView television, covering Point Park University athletics like only we know how. Each week we break down the world of Point Park basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, track, and so much more. We catch you up on the latest national and regional headlines and go head-to-head with the week's hottest debate topic in sports with the case of the week. It's the Pioneer Sideline, only on UView television.
Hey guys, this is Taylor Sprito for WPPJ Radio, and this is your sports update for the week. The men's and women's indoor track teams made history by both claiming their first conference titles and taking first at the River States Conference Championship this weekend. For the men, sophomore Xavier Stevens won 2 titles for the Pioneers, being honored with the RSC Most Outstanding Men's Indoor Track Athlete. Other names that were honored at the meet were Sean Barry, Jeri Davis, and Michael Morris, who combined to sweep the jumping events and aid Point Park's eventual title. The women won the meet with a whopping 206 points. Junior Anna Shields is continuing her winning ways this spring by placing first in 4 events on her own and contributing to the 4x400 relay victory, earning her the RSC Most Outstanding Women's Indoor Track Athlete honors. Every member of the team placed on the podium during the meet, with Point Park sweeping the mile as Shields placed first, and freshman Alyssa Boyd and Kayla Roberts placed second and third respectively. Head coach of both teams, Kelly Parsley, was named RSC Men's and Women's Indoor Track and Field Coach of the Year. The last meet of the regular season is this Friday at Kent State, so stay tuned to stay up to date with those teams and all things Point Park sports.
Corner brings you the best sports talk on the air. Based on the award-winning weekly column in the Globe, Croups Corner covers all the bases of Point Park athletics. Join Josh Croup and Allison Schubert each week for recaps and commentary on the biggest Point Park sports headlines.
Talked to Coach last night, and he's really
just a huge win. It couldn't have come at a better time.
Really well. They had a lot of good ball movement.
Plus debates on the hottest topics surrounding the sports world beyond Point Park.
Well, that's a fair point.
He's not overrated.
Yes, he is.
Croups Corner, Wednesdays from 1 to 2, only on WPPJ.
And we're back and got 0 responses, but I guess we should have expected that.
Yeah, but hey, it was a fun idea.
The answer?
The answer was Patrick Hornquist.
No,
they highlighted that a lot. Now there's a guy.
No, this is a guy who can really shoot the puck.
Not really.
But
they highlighted that a lot in the Stanley Cup final because he was drafted in Nashville.
Yep. And then he scored the game-winning goal in Game 6 against
Nashville. That was good. Good. The NHL's very good at finding a way to end up having stuff like that.
There's a couple of good storylines in that Nashville, considering Fleury was drafted in Nashville.
Oh, that's true. Well, Nashville, what a great city for Penguins.
Now, Hornquist, this is a guy who can really get hurt.
Well, that just hurts me.
And we continue.
We continue. Now we're into our random discussion section because I have no better idea of what to call that. We're going to start with trade deadline talk. We've talked about it for the first 2 weeks, but we're going to continue to talk about it until the deadline next week. The Penguins have yet to make a move, meaning maybe they won't.
I did see something to this morning, though.
About? I know they're targeting Derek Brassard, which we...
Yep, that's exactly what I was going to talk about.
Which I did say that last week.
Yep.
But I think the price is too high.
I don't want it. I just saw Darren Drager tweet that Brassard is a target.
What would that cost?
And that the Pens are in the mix is all I saw.
Like Daniel Sprong, Matt Hunwick in a first? I mean, that I'm fine with.
I would prefer not to get rid of Daniel Sprong.
I mean, and so would I, but apparently they're not going to use him.
I mean, he's the face of the minor league.
Of the what?
He's the face of the minor league organization, and he's going to be I think he's going to be one of our better players.
Is he the face of the minor league
organization?
I
just think that they like Phil Kessel, and they don't want a second one.
Also, my mom just texted me saying that she had just found the answer to the question.
Shout out to Horwat's mother.
Mom,
you're the true
listening
MVP.
In Florida.
Can we get rid of
in
chat?
Florida?
Yeah, she's.
We multi-states here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her and my stepdad down there listening in Florida.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Bam, really?
But anyway, back to the trade stuff.
Back to the trade stuff. Not many trades actually around the league happening.
I mean,
other than we had the Phaneuf trade.
Which also, Nick Shore deserves way better than Ottawa, I think.
Yeah,
he's gonna be so good.
It's a business.
It is a business, but
he'll be really good in a place where he's not allowed to be really good.
Yep.
Sans Bobby Ryan.
They need to dump that contract, by the way.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
All right, so
if they want to dump the Carlson contract, I'll take it. I don't know how it would work, but I'd love to see Carlson and Letang. Well, not Letang. Yeah, Letang. Carlson and Letang on the same line, or on the same D-core, not the same line.
Okay, I was going to say, are they both righties? But
I don't want both of them on the same line. We wouldn't have a defense.
Could you imagine those three and Hagelin just out on the ice together? How much hair product and hair is just out there?
Listen, I know Potash asked Letang yesterday. Did you not see that?
No.
Because you're not reacting. He was in the second intermission break. Potash's interview was Letang, not Hagelin. And Potash literally at the end, he said, "One more question for you. Does your hair always look perfect?" And Letang, the smirkest piece of crap, just brushes his hair back and says, No, I never have a bad hair day," and walks into the locker room.
Letang is incredible.
Greatest thing I've ever seen. It was that was pretty good.
No, I didn't see that because one, whenever I stream the games, I don't see intermission stuff unless it's on NBC.
Okay.
And two, I wasn't watching yesterday because I had a Globe meeting to go to.
Oh, okay.
That's where I snapped you from whenever I saw that Riley scored, though.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to your surroundings. I just read that Riley scored usually.
But anyway,
How does everybody feel about maybe a Chad Ruel trade if he's healthy?
he is.
I would
healthy.
rather them. He is healthy. I would rather
Was
them
he?
trade Hunwick, and I would think they'd probably trade Hunwick. That's why he's playing.
Well-
I would rather them not trade anybody because I think we have 8 good defensemen. If somebody goes down, we have somebody that can plug in. And we still have a backup after that.
I did see somewhere else that said Hunwick might be getting traded.
Good.
But
That makes sense.
I-
If anybody, Hunwick.
if it wasn't
Nobody
like,
else on this team needs to be traded.
it wasn't like a good source I saw it for. I just kind of saw someone say that Rutherford said Hunwick will be traded,
Okay.
and then that was it. But it's
Yeah.
possible.
Other than that, unless you guys have anything else, there's no trade news. It's deadly quiet.
Next week is the deadline, though.
Next week is the deadline. Like we said, next week we are going to be sans Jordan Slobodinsky.
During spring break.
It is spring break next week, so
But Berlansky and I
it'll
will
be me
here.
and Horwat bringing you your 3 PT, your weekly dose.
Yeah.
And then 2 days after that, we're headed to the Big Apple. Me and you. Horwat taking over
New York.
New York. It's not going to go well. I mean, I'm 21. You're not.
I'm not.
But it's not going to go well for me.
I'll be in Lock Haven.
Have fun.
There you go.
Hey.
All right, let's move on to the next discussion. And it's one that I've wanted to talk about for about a week and a half now.
What's that?
The shootout in the NHL.
Okay.
I don't like it at all. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people do like it. I just think it's a skills competition.
I'm indifferent about it, personally.
This is
It's
a team, like this is a great team sport. But if you end it with a
personal
shootout,
thing.
it's what kind of team aspect does that give you?
It's just one of those things. It's like that when they brought it in, it was a cool idea. When they brought it in after the what's it called?
When Crosby
the
scored
lockout.
that against
The
the
greatest-
Canadians and that water bottle went
It's still fun.
higher than the Flyers' opportunities to win a Stanley Cup this year. It
Shout-outs
was
to Howard.
great.
It's that bottle's still flying somewhere, but it's
Like it was cool, and it's given us cool moments like Sid in the Winter Classic. But at the same time, you watch games now, especially because they turned it to 3-on-3 overtime.
When they made it 3-on-3, they made it. They shouldn't have. That's when they should have gotten rid of it because they gave it they gave overtime a reason to be good again.
Yeah, my idea, and a lot of people have already said this idea. My idea is that we should have 2 back-to-back 3-on-3 overtimes, a 5-minute one, switch sides, another 5-minute one, and then the shootout.
Okay.
I hate it, and I don't want to see any game end in it. And the shootout, the games ending in a shootout got cut down drastically when they went to 3-on-3. It'll get cut down even it will be a drastic change again if they go to another 3-on-3
Oh, yeah.
overtime.
It's too much ice.
Oh, and with the players, the
Yeah.
skill of the players, this time in the NHL, it's ridiculous.
And they used the shootout in the Olympics too, though.
Yeah,
It's a 5-man, but it's still a shootout.
They go
It's-
overtime and shootout, and they did that in prelims. That's not how that usually goes. We're going to talk about the Olympics a little bit later, a short discussion just telling you guys where it's at in case you aren't paying attention. I'm trying to, but the game's at 7:10 in the morning and 10:10 at night.
I did watch the Women's American game last night, though.
I will watch. Okay, we're going to leave that
Okay,
till
we'll get
later.
there.
But you guys have thoughts on the shootout?
I'm indifferent about it, and it was cool when they brought it out, but now it's just kind of once they implemented the 3-on-3, it's kind of a lost art.
Keep it in the
now.
All-Star Weekend skills competition.
Yes.
Take it out of my games.
So,
Yes.
see, I'm actually a fan of it.
Okay.
Because I grew up going to Wilkes-Barre, and
ahead, I'm listening.
He's giving me a look.
Berlansky's shaking his head.
I'm not even looking at you.
Wilkes-Barre, you mean Philadelphia?
No, Wilkes-Barre. That's where I grew up going to games because it's like 2 hours from where I live.
All right, continue. This is a time show. We actually have something after us tonight, so let's go.
All right, so I actually really enjoy the shootout because when I just because growing up and watching it, it's exciting. It keeps the fans entertained. And that's as much as when I talk about it being a game and a business, it's entertainment. So it keeps a majority of fans, I think, happy. And I think it's a little twist, and I think it's actually good to kind of see the skill between each player because you think, oh well, some goalies are just gonna straight be a rock in a shootout and just nothing's getting past them, and then nobody outdoes them, or you watch somebody like Crosby or Malkin pull some fantastic move that you can't really see when they're struggling against some defensemen or some defenders, and I don't know, it makes for some cool opportunities that I enjoy to see.
Or what? I think you're sleeping.
Yeah, Jordan, you put me to sleep.
You
there.
did. No, Jordan, you did make good points. I actually listened to you on Him.
You did. I
do agree with you in some point. When I grew up, I would always hope that the overtime would end because I would love to watch the shootouts. But now that I'm a little bit older, now that I understand the game more, I really feel like, especially now that they added the 3-on-3 overtime and how exciting it is, I'd rather see a game end in a 3-on-3 overtime than a shootout.
I have no problem with 3-on-3 overtime. I think the only problem I really have with overtime is in the playoffs because like games for some reason always go to double OT in the playoffs, and I'm just like, ugh.
What do you mean, ugh?
I like more hockey, but like I hate the stress.
Oh, I hate the stress too, but that makes hockey so much more fun.
You're right.
Don't in the end, I'm gonna die like 18 years early. Because of hockey alone.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want a shootout in a playoff series. That's the worst idea.
No, yeah, definitely can't do that.
That's the worst idea. But I think for regular season game.
I think for regular season games.
The next discussion.
Okay, we're just going to go to the next discussion. I texted you during the first game of the week, or what, and I said, I think we should have a Jake Gensel discussion. Then he scored his second goal of that game. Yes. So we're going to have the Jake Gensel discussion. He's been kind of quiet. Not many people are really talking about him. But at the same time, he's second on the team in hits. How tall is this man? 5'11"? The only person he's behind is Ryan Reeves. All right, Gensel is second on the team with 112. Reeves leads with 159 because he's Ryan Reeves. He's Ryan Reeves. That's what he does. He goes out and hits people. He gets like 5 hits a shift.
One of the things on Inside Penguins hockey was if you had to let any of your teammates punch you in the face, who would it be? A lot of them said Jake Gensel. A lot of them because he's a kid. He's tiny. And he's not that big.
Well, what I think happened, and I thought about this today while at work, he got hit hard a lot last year.
Oh, a lot.
He probably got fed up with that and was like, you know what? I'm just going to start hitting people. Like, a lot of people in the NHL should have that frame of mind, but he's small. So he was getting, like...
literally clobbered.
Every other game, he took a hit that I was like, oh, Jake Gensel has a concussion. He's done. But he get back up, so it showed you that he was tough. And then this year, 112 hits.
It's probably
for Mini-Mite.
Trying to show
Jake Gensel.
He's that physical.
I like that.
He's not trying to be an enforcer, but he's trying to say, like, you can't just... I'm not a
No,
pushover.
and there's some of his hits have been, like, there were sometimes I was like, oh, huge check. Who is that? That's Gensel. Okay. Wow. Scoring-wise, 18 goals, 12 assists. We know he wasn't a big
19.
Assist guys. Oh, 19?
Yeah, 19.
Oh, I must have written that.
No,
he scored yesterday, didn't he?
Did he? I can't remember.
It's against Columbus in Columbus.
Here we go.
So he usually scores.
He did score.
Yeah, that's why. He had 3 points last night.
Oh, my God, he had 2 assists. Wow.
Yeah. Well, so 19 goals, 14 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't have it. But he is a minus 13.
I have noticed that.
I think that is in part due to, you think about the beginning of the year, he did play with Crosby, but Crosby also didn't play well at the beginning of the year, and he was a minus as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then he moved to the third line to center that line. That's very out of position for him.
No, that didn't work out too well.
He hasn't played center for a while.
Yeah.
I know he used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you get used to playing on the wing, especially on the wing with Sidney Crosby, and then you're centering your own line, it's going to be difficult.
Totally.
Coming from somebody who enjoyed the wing. The only reason I like to play center is because I'd like to be like, oh, I want to face off. But the centering position is there's so much more to it than the right wing or the left wing. Either one.
Mm-hmm. It's really odd. He's a minus 13, and everybody I'm checking, I think.
Yeah, he's a minus 13. We have a lot of players that are very low.
Like
Carl is plus 8.
that Chicago game kind of messed with everyone's plus minus, really.
That's I can.
That and the 2 Tampa Bay games where we gave up 8 goals.
We'll leave out the anomalies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
also with Hornqvist out, he's been taking the net front on the power play, and he's been doing real good.
Oh yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah.
Last
Him
night.
and Aston-Reese in front of the net. Zach Aston-Reese, they're comparing him to Hornqvist, and the more games I watch, the more I'm like, maybe Hornqvist won't come back. If they like Aston-Reese, do you think that Aston-Reese he hasn't shown anything yet to me, but do you think if he plays this way throughout the rest of the year and plays with Crosby when Hornqvist comes back, do you think there's a chance the Penguins just let Hornqvist go?
For that money, yes.
You think before are you saying after this year?
After this year.
Oh,
his contract's up.
Yeah, I know his contract. So I was like, are you saying like before the season? Because I don't think they're going to do that.
Oh, no, they're going to play him through the playoffs.
I mean, he's a guy that I want in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, he's a playoff
guy. Oh, no, it's nothing against Patrick Hornqvist. I love Patrick Hornqvist, and I would love to see him as a Pittsburgh Penguin the rest of my life. But like some people wanted to see Chris Kunitz as a Pittsburgh Penguin, not me.
Not me.
He's 31 years old. Reese is 23.
He's going to get a big paycheck.
Yep.
I don't know if we can... If Aston-Reese proves to be as good as Hornqvist, there has to be some other free agents that we have that I'd rather sign. Alexiak.
Great.
Definitely. He's under $1 million now, so...
Alexiak's under $1 million. Think about that.
Simone.
Simone is he up in his contract? You're just looking at the roster. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
no,
how you
I'm
know
d-
of contracts.
Are you looking?
I'm
Are
just
you looking at contracts or no? What contract questions are
I
you
can look
asking?
at.
I'm asking who's up at the end of the season.
Who's up at the end of the season is Patrick Hornquist,
Okay.
Riley Sheehan,
Okay, we knew that. Though.
Ryan Reeves,
I want Shane back.
Dominic Simone,
I want Shane, Simone, and Alexiak.
Brian Rust, Tom
Rust.
Kuhnackel,
Oh crap.
Carter
Mm.
Rowney.
It's a lot of names.
I'm not done yet. I have two
Oh, wow.
defensemen and a goalie left.
Jari's the goalie, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
So Tristan Jarry, Ian Cole, and Jamie Alexiak.
I would literally re-sign every name there except maybe Tom Kuhnackel. Like every name there.
Look at Berlansky and say that.
I'm not saying it's anything against Kuhnackel, but like if it came down to like we could have all those guys except
You're
Kuhnackel.
including Ryan Reeves. I love Ryan, but I don't want to re-sign that man.
Not that 1.2.
He's playing very well.
1.125.
He is playing extremely well, but I would rather not re-sign
Yeah.
him for
All
what
right.
we paid for him.
Okay, so we get let's say we get rid of. Let's see, we have the list right here. So
You also remember you got to replace some of these players.
Yeah.
no, don't get me wrong. I think I think Hornquist, if we could get a reasonable deal for him,
We're not. Continue. Next.
Kuhnackel, I think we could do without him. But
Okay.
he's still good. He's still good.
There can be an argument made for Kuhnackel.
Because I'm going to kind of
Oh.
agree. We could be okay without him, too.
Yeah, but there's definitely an argument to be made that Kuhnackel should be there. Reeves can go. I mean, unless he just like keeps playing like this the rest of the season and through
Which he
playoff.
could.
Yeah,
And
Good.
playoffs make players.
I mean,
Playoffs are when players earn their contracts.
I mean, yeah. If he goes,
Justin Schultz has a great contract because
he's a playoff.
he played terrific in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah. If Ryan Reeves scores like 6 goals in the playoffs, and I'm fine with it. Carter Rowney.
I like Rowney,
I want
but
Rowney re-signed.
Okay, that's
I mean, he
fine.
gets hurt so much, though.
Yeah, that's like I'm kind of neither here nor there. If he comes back, great. If he doesn't,
we need Cheyenne.
Do need Sheehan. at
Rust
this
and
point.
Sheehan. I say we got to keep.
I need my dose of Cheyenne.
I think
Rust. How much money is Rust going to ask for, though?
A lot.
Because
A lot.
well,
they gave Sherry $3 million.
he's got.
But that was in an arbitration case.
He's got 9
Yeah.
goals, 22 assists.
But like, it's the situation.
Sherry also scored 20-some goals last year.
Yeah. But I remember when they
Russ
both
provides
came
something
up,
completely different from Sherry, so it's really hard to. I mean, just because they came up at the same time, just because they're basically the same height,
Yeah,
they're very
similar players.
different. They're very different players.
Yeah, I mean he could be on track to maybe catch up with himself last year. He could score 20 goals again.
They seemed like very similar
Who?
players last year.
Sherry.
Oh, I was looking at 2015-16. I was like, he has 7. No, he's not going to score. He's scored 12 so far this year. He's not going to get 11 more this year.
He could. I mean he could get
In
to 20.
24 games,
I think he could get to. Well, all right. Well, let's say
24
he'll probably get to 15 or.
that's
16.
games played. How many games played do we have?
No. I'm looking at
Because
goals.
Sherry's missed some. I know, but I'm saying.
58.
61.
So he has 21 games. That's if he plays all of them to score 11 goals.
Okay, so he's
When
probably
he's playing on the first line?
second. No, first. You're right. You're
He's
right.
playing on the
You're
first with Aston-Reese and Crosby, and Aston-Reese is hogging the goals.
I'm just okay. So I'm sorry. He'll probably end with like 15 or 16.
Okay.
That's more reasonable.
All right. I can see that.
I would say I'd like to keep both of them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rust and Sheehan. Not well. Sherry's still signed.
Yeah, Sherry signed last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think
did Dumo.
I think there's a place for Simone in the future.
I definitely think there's a place for Dominic Simone.
This team is so like.
Young.
Yeah.
Always young.
It's always been young.
Everybody hates us
Yeah. I don't.
because we're supposed to be bad because we lost our key players.
I think
We make one trade for somebody that's supposed to be horrible, Cheyenne, and he turns out to be better than everybody that we had last year.
Or we pluck from the minors and they turn out
Or
to
we-
be
yeah,
gold.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the oldest age.
I do apologize to fans of every other team because we do like at the in December we were all so mad that the Penguins were in last place in the
I
Metro.
wasn't. I would knew we were
I mean,
gonna
I
come
was just
back,
like, okay, I'm a little upset that we're in 7th place. Well,
but it's us.
at the end of last night, we were in 1st place, but I did not realize that Washington played at 3 today, and they beat the Sabres because they're the Sabres.
And
So we're back in
Washington is
2nd place.
Washington.
But I'm looking at this roster and I'm like, I think the oldest age here is 31.
We need to go to a break.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are going to go to a break, and then we will come back to wrap it up and a couple more quick discussions.
Hey guys, it's Chris Schwanke, and I have some questions for you. Are you always stressed out after a long day of classes? Just trying to wind down after work? Need something to brighten up your hump day? Then tune in, cool down, and hang out with me in the Igloo for 2 hours of tunes and talk every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Follow me on Twitter at @the_igloo_WPPJ and listen live on WPPJradio.com.
Are you looking to get hands-on, real-world experience in television? Look no further than UView, Point Park University's student-run television station. Whether your interests lie in sports, news, politics, or pop culture, UView has a place for you in one of our 8 original shows. Whether you dream of being in front of the camera or behind the scenes, UView is for you. For more information on how to get involved, check out our Facebook page, UView Point Park University Television.
Tired of your normal, boring daytime talk radio?
Want to listen to a show that's slightly not disappointing?
Tune into H&B at 3.
Thursdays at 3 to 4.
With me, Bill Steinbach.
And me, Hannah Sue Hepler.
Listen live at WPPJ 670 AM or at WPPJradio.com.
Hey guys, time for another WPPJ music update. Metallica lead man James Hetfield will make his movie debut in an upcoming Ted Bundy biopic. Smashing Pumpkins are expected to announce their reunion this week without original bassist Darcy Redsky. The Avid Brothers announced a show at Stage AE on August 16th. The Steve Miller Band and Peter Frampton announced a Pittsburgh date on June 20th at KeyBank Pavilion. New albums dropped Monday from Borns, Camilla Cabello, and Fall Out Boy. I'm Chris Schwanke, and that was this week's music update.
And we're back, and you were breathing. What were you about to say?
Me?
Oh, yeah. I thought you were taking a deep breath to say something.
I was probably about to cough, but then this ended quickly.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're back either way, and we're going to go with another. There's the cough.
Got
we're
it in
going to go
there.
with another discussion. Jordan, you better stop laughing because this is because I'm so mad at you.
I'm sorry.
We were talking earlier this week. Jordan, what's a goon?
Dude, I don't know. Is it like an idiot?
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I mean,
Step
it's
one.
Two of them.
The
There's
second
two of them.
There
I
is
like
two. The second one's not as good as the
wait,
first.
wait,
but
is that the
What's a goon?
What is
no,
a goon?
what is a goon?
I don't know. I have no idea what a goon is.
Kayla knows. Kayla, do you want to say it and I'll relay your answer?
Not into the. Oh, she's
Not-
gonna get in
okay.
the microphone. Okay. Special guest Kayla Belovich.
It's someone that fights a lot in hockey. They don't really have the skill set, but they just put them out there to fight. So
That
the
is
best players don't
that
have
is
to
like the
fight.
Merriam-Webster's dictionary definition of
so-
goon.
so
So
like-
she knows that. So I think she's gonna
I think the
do
first
a
person,
lot better than you do.
You know the first
in
person that comes to
3PTHQ.
mind now that I know the definition?
Ryan Reeves.
He's second.
Who's first?
Daniel Carcillo.
Yeah. I forgot about Carcillo.
So did I.
Man, he was
Bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
He did nothing but fight.
Zach Ronaldo.
Jordan, I just got 2 texts about how much of an idiot you are.
Hey,
That didn't take long.
Nope.
Mick, come on, buddy.
It wasn't even Mick.
Oh, well,
Calm down.
damn.
Well, that's yeah. I just had to ask you that question
Yeah.
live on the air to embarrass you because last week we had the whole Horwat shaving his face because there's girls at the party.
Ah, there it is.
This week I already had the first. Just learned how to make a grilled cheese. Thank you for everybody. Go ahead and rip on me. I'm
Oh, there was 2 weeks ago. There was my turkey in the microwave.
your turkey in the microwave, and now there's goon.
Great. The roommates loved listening to that, by the way.
Oh yeah, everybody loved that.
Look, I'm just saying that a bird should be cooked in a microwave.
Moving
I'm just
on.
saying we should move on. We're gonna go to an Olympics update because yeah, that's still happening, guys. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching. I've tried to watch, but 7:10 a.m. I get up pretty early, but 7:10 is very early. I usually miss the first period and wake up at like 8.
Literally, all I've seen is like, what is it called?
What is it called?
Curling and
I watched curling at 2
figure
a.m.
skating.
last night
Why?
because it was on live.
Oh,
They put all the niche sports on it, like at a.
Well, because it's 15 hours ahead.
Well, yeah.
But no, because I was also watching the U.S. women's semifinal game that they won
okay.
5-0 over Finland.
meaning
It is another.
on February 22nd, which is in 3 days.
It is another USA versus
USA
Canada.
Canada gold medal game. That game's gonna be so good. They played earlier in the tournament, and it was 2-1 Canada. They were up 2-0. Obviously, the United States scored in the third period. The United States came inches away from tying that game, and then the brawl broke out
They
because
don't
these two
like each other.
these two teams hate each other. If you have not watched women's hockey, Canada versus the United States is better than most NHL games.
Yeah, it's
They
pretty intense.
hate each other
Is
with
it?
a passion.
Okay. Well, I guess because they're
So if you're going to watch, that is February 22nd.
Jordan, basically
Amanda
because
Kessel.
Amanda Kessel.
Phil
Hillary
Kessel's
Knight.
sister.
Well, a lot makes sense now.
Yes. Because like
Hillary Knight
in women's hockey,
was
this
my
is
woman
kind
crush
of
in high school.
the biggest thing for
Well, yeah,
them.
because they don't have like a professional league.
They do have a professional league.
but it's not as large. Yeah.
And so like this is like the big thing for them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I could totally understand that.
It was great.
Especially since it's the U.S. and Canada are the two best women's teams, right?
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
Like
For the past long,
They
like,
ever since
couple,
I
I
looked it
think
up
2 or
last
3 last Olympics.
ever since the inception of women's hockey at the Olympics in 1998, it has been the U.S. and Canada in all but one of them, and the USA got
This
bronze that year.
man, this man knows all the statistics.
See, where
You come prepared, sir.
In like 10 years, you're gonna
This
hear.
is what I do at 1 a.m. whenever I'm watching women's hockey.
This 10 years.
I wonder.
This is a sad sentence.
10 years from now, I have like this vision of Horwat, and he's either an announcer for NBC during the Olympics, or he's announcing AF or Arena Football League games.
Oh,
aren't you a journalism major?
I'm a journalism major, so I don't see myself announcing at all.
But you could.
I could if I don't like the sound of my own voice. But
hey,
that being said, my dream job would be to write for a hockey team.
My dream job would be play-by-play for a hockey team.
There you go.
So
this is Nick Horwat
Step
live.
Brothers.
Let's get the same team, Broninsky.
Yeah, let's like Step Brothers go in the same interview. Either I sit on your lap or you sit on my lap, and one of us has to fart very long.
God,
This got weird really quick.
If you've seen the movie Step Brothers, you understand what I'm talking about. So let's move on. I hate all of you.
I don't like Step Brothers.
I mean, by all of you, I mean Horwat and Jordan. Not all of you guys listening. Thank you for listening.
We love you guys listening.
But
Shout
the
outs
men's
to Mick.
hockey tournament, Sweden, Canada, the Olympic athletes of Russia. We're just going to say Russia from now on because that's a mouthful.
Yep.
And Jordan's pick, the Czech Republic, have buys in the first round of the men's.
They made it.
Boom.
How?
If
they win, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Okay, but like in all honesty, how often do I make weird predictions and they almost come true?
Never.
None come to mind for me either.
Neither do they for me. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, well, in the first round, in the preliminary rounds for that, we have Switzerland, Germany, which they're going to face off to see who's going to lose to Sweden in the second round. Finland, South Korea. I think Finland might have a chance to beat Canada in the second round if they win. South Korea has 0% chance of winning anything. I don't think their women's team has not won.
Oh, okay. I was going to say they were the ones that lost like 8-0 2 games.
Yeah, their women's team has not won. Their women's team is done. The men's team, I'm not sure. I don't think they've won either.
I doubt it.
I mean, they could just be playing for pride. I mean, their home country.
Slovenia, which was the big surprise early, beating the United States. They're going to take on Norway, and the winner of that faces the the Olympic athletes of Russia. Kovalchuk scored 2 goals against the United States, and I was kind of upset.
That second one he scored, though, was a absolute snipe. I don't think anyone would have been able to stop it.
It's Ilya Kovalchuk.
He's
I can't wait. I hope he comes back to the NHL at some point. It's just going to be fun to watch.
He's still got it.
Here's a question. I meant to ask you this before the show started. Is an Olympic rink larger than an NHL
Yes.
rink?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like watching
It is.
They play on the old NHL side.
They play on the European rink.
Because I was looking at, I don't know what game it was, but there was a hockey game on it. I was like, this is a big rink.
That's why when a lot of Russian players that are really good in Russia come over, they struggle because the rink is smaller.
Yep.
And
Gotta
your
use
reflexes
that.
have to be 10 times faster.
Okay.
That was one of the things that
At
changed in
Vadim Shipashev.
Yeah.
Who got Shipashev'd right back to Russia.
Yep. That was one of the things that changed after the lockouts. They shrunk the ice and added the trapezoid.
Yeah.
The Martin Brodeur lines.
Well, to finish this discussion a little bit, the United States takes on Slovakia in the first round because they were unable to beat the Russians to win their group. And the winner of that will go on to face the Czech Republic. The United States already beat Slovakia 2-1, so hopefully they can pull it off and take on the Czechs. But that's where we stand. Sweden has not given up a goal yet.
Oh, really? Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. Their first 2 games were shut out. I'm pretty sure their third one was too.
I think their third one they gave up one. Who'd they play?
I don't remember at all.
Jordan, quickly look this up.
Even if they gave up a goal, their first 2 games were shutouts.
Yeah.
And the player that I thought was going to be huge was Rasmus Dahlin. No, they won 3-1 against Finland. Sorry.
So they gave up a goal.
Okay, so
okay.
They gave up a goal.
So they've given up
singular
1 goal.
They've given up 1 goal in 3 games.
Victor Fast has given up 1 goal in the Olympics.
So what we could have,
What-
Canada, Finland in the second round would be a decent matchup. Slovenia, Russia would be a decent matchup because Slovenia is playing real well. But we could have Sweden, Canada in the semifinals, and Russia versus either the Czech Republic or the United States in the semifinals.
Sweden, Canada.
But that's obviously if all teams win, which it's the Olympics, and this year it's even.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy it a lot more.
Sweden Canada in the semis. That's not the gold medal game like I had.
I had that too.
Yep.
I picked the Czech freaking Republic.
You know what? You know why it's not? Because the Czechs beat the Canadians.
That's a weird statement.
Because there's no NHL?
Robbie Klinkhammer let me down.
Oh, Rob.
Wojtek Wolski, or how do you say his name? Voltek Wolski or whatever. His goal in the first game, this man broke his neck 14 months ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I saw that, yeah.
And he came down the wing, embarrassed 3 defensemen, and sniped.
Ripped it.
That was probably one of the... It's
Good
Olympic
moment.
moments like that
Great moment.
that he would have never gotten that chance if the NHL was there, because there's no way he would have made that team.
No way.
Zero
All
chance.
NHLers.
Yeah. So good on Wolski, good on really the Olympics for this year. I think it's been good. Just the timing of when the games are on, it's hard to watch.
I mean, they can't.
Obviously you can't fix that.
They can't fix the whole world, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, on the bright side, all of Asia and some of Europe are seeing things on time.
Yeah, but their teams are losing. And their teams are losing bad.
I said on the bright side, not on the perfect side.
Well, I'm not a very happy person. But we're going to go to Penn's preview. They have a 4-day break. Every team gets a 5-day bye week. Well, they have a 4-day break at the beginning of this week.
Because
I'm guessing
March
it's
is hectic.
March
Like I said
is
before.
hectic, and we have to let teams catch up to us because we have one of the most. We've played one. We're one of the teams that have played the most.
Yeah, because we had a ton of back-to-backs in the beginning of the season.
And we still have a ton of back-to-backs too.
Yeah.
19 overall this year.
That's so crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah.
They're making it hard to three-peat, but we can
do it.
I mean, to be fair,
we're in second place in the Metro, which is the tightest division in the NHL.
It is 3-peat season still. Remember that.
It's 3-peat season. We did have a promo that we recorded, but I'm too lazy to edit it, so we haven't finished it. I'm going to try to get on that. But after that, we have 2 road games at Carolina and at Florida on Friday, Saturday, a back-to-back, if you will.
Yeah, they are.
I'm curious to see what Carolina's schedule is this week because I wonder if Cam Ward will be playing that game or if maybe they have a back-to-back on Friday, Saturday.
I'm not sure.
Not worried about it. We're in a time crunch for these last 2 minutes, though.
Yeah, but
well, we only have standings left.
Cool.
And around the NHL. Anything other than standings that you guys want to talk about? Because I have nothing because the NHL has been boring.
The people
other than Vegas.
The people of Chicago.
What about the people of Chicago?
Okay, or the 2 people of Chicago that were with the racist slurs toward.
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Kelly.
yeah, guys, that's just horrible.
What happened exactly?
We don't have to talk about
No, we don't have to talk about it. Just Chicago needs to straighten up sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, like
you're at the bottom. Let's not make it worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the Vegas, they did a proposal and a marriage in the same game.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It was cool.
I'm kind of like
ESPN covered it, but that's all they covered. And then they said, "Oh, by the way, the Golden Knights won the game 4-1."
Oh, ESPN.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
pesky
I don't know why it
ESPN.
was even on.
Not knowing what hockey
But
is.
standings wise, the Penguins are in second place in the Metro Division. Nothing else has really changed right now. The wild card in the Eastern Conference is New Jersey and Carolina, with the Islanders and Columbus following suit behind. The Rangers are still right behind them, but Florida is going to pass them, meaning the Metro won't be solidly above the entire Atlantic except for the top 3.
That's because New York has thrown in the towel this season.
Yeah, they did. We talked about that last week. And we also have Winnipeg, Nashville, Dallas in the top 3 in the Central Pacific Division. Vegas still atop by 10 points. They're ridiculous. San Jose and Calgary rounded out the top 3 in the Pacific. The wild card division. The wild card in the Western Conference is St. Louis and Minnesota, with Anaheim, Los Angeles, Colorado, and Chicago rounding out there. And then there's a bunch of teams like Edmonton and Connor McDavid who are not going to make the playoffs.
Not doing well.
That'll be the second time in his career. Crosby, I think Crosby's missed the playoffs once.
Once in his first
so
year.
So we'll get back to that at some point. For all you McDavid fans that aren't listening because this is a Penguins talk show. So that's going to do it for this week's 3PT episode. We have 4 days off, and hopefully when we come back to you, it's going to be me and Horwat. There will be trades to talk about. I'm hoping it's not Penguins trades.
Oh, yeah. Just league trades would be fun.
League trades will be fun. It's just me and Horwat next week. We're going to have some fun. We'll see Jordan in 2 weeks.
Sayonara.
Correct?
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Signing off, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.